Start the recording. Okay, we have started recording. Start to record the meeting. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining our community meeting of Harbor. Today, I'm Steven Zhou, Harbor co-maintainer. I'll host today's meeting. Here is the agenda for today's meeting. We have several topics to cover. The first one are a quick update the version 1.8, the development status, and then I'll share the analysis report of our first community survey. We delivered several weeks ago. And the third part, I'll talk about some job search known issues. I know some guys have met some issues from the job search or replication or GC. Okay, next part, I'll talk about some upcoming community events. That those events were related with Harbor. Okay. I'll give some introduction about the events. Then it's the demo parts. We'll invite Deng Qian and Daniel, who are also Harbor co-maintainers, to give some demo about the prepare flow refactor and the OIDC supporting. I think the prepare flow is very important. It's critical for you to install or deploy the Harbor into your environment. We have do lots of refactoring work on this part. Okay, as a regular, we will left several minutes for you guys to to ask a question, to raise issues, if you have. Okay, I will quickly. So first part, I will cover the version 1.8 development progress updates. Here is the main features of the version 1.8. You can see from the list, most of the primary features are already done. Okay, in the version 1.8, robot account, health check API. Now you can use this API to check the overall health status of Harbor. We add a new master role, and we also build the Swagger UI into the portal. You can use those portal to to browse the Harbor API. Also, maybe you can trigger some API calls. Okay, we also provide a crawl-like schedule. So with this crawl-like schedule, you can customize your schedule with flexible pattern. Okay, we also refactor the config management and remove the admin server to make the Harbor, to make the configuration management more lightweight. Okay, and we also rework the prepare script to simplify the overall prepare flow. This will be covered by today's demo, and we also support OIDC supporting. This part we also have a demo to cover. So this part is still on the development, but it's already close to the end. Maybe we can mark it down in next week. Okay. The next part is the replication NG. Yeah, the next generation replication is the core of the replication is almost done. Now we are working on to improve the quality, fix bugs, and implement some adapter to support the replicate Harbor ways across other non-Harbor registries. So in the 1.8, we'll support Docker Hub native Docker registry. Okay, I think the overall status is close to end. Maybe we can mark it down in next several weeks. Okay, so for the 1.8, the overall code phrase data is April 20. The GA data is May possible properly in the near the middle of May. The concrete date is not settled yet. Okay, this is the overall progress of the 1.8 development. Okay, so next part I will share the survey analysis report. Yeah, we have sent the survey link to you guys through our mail group and our WeChat group and our Slack channels. Some of you guys may have attended participated in this survey. Today I'll share the overall report. Maybe you can learn some, overall status of our community. Hold on, let me. Sorry, I think there is some problem. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Let me open the report. Okay, now can you guys see my screen? Yes? Okay. Okay, so you can see my screen now. I'll show the survey response, survey result report. Okay, this is our first survey, targeted to the Harvard community. It's closed in last week. So first question we have to ask some, if you participate in the survey, we want to learn what's your role in the Harvard community. You can see most of the participants are users. Okay, it's the percent of the user nearly 65%, and the next one is some cloud native architecture. This is so next one is the contributor. I think we need more, more users to participate in the, in the community to do some contribution and then become a contributor. We have a low percent of the contributors. Okay, this is the first question. Next, we ask about the location of the survey participants. I think actually we lose some participants from the Asian Pacific. So you can, from the result, we can see most of the participants are all from the Asian Pacific, from China, India, and some other Asian part. The next one is North America. The last one is the European. So I think we need to do more work to promote the Harvard in the European region. Okay, next one is we to learn the version, the Harvard versions they use in their environments. Okay, we fortunately we got a positive results. Most of the users have already upgraded their hardware to the latest version 1.7. Only a small percent keep in the Legends version. So this is a positive result. So the first is to talk about the approach of installing the. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Okay, I think you can, from the percent data, we can see most of the user use the installer, that means standalone installer to deploy hardware to their environments. This in total are nearly more than 56 or 57. Okay, then more than half. Okay, the next part is the Helm chart. Okay, so I think yeah, of the installer is still the primary way to deploy hardware in the user's environment. Okay, next one is about what functions are of hardware they are using. Okay, so this one we can ignore. So nearly everyone uses the pull push, the core function of a pull push. So we can say the highest, the most popular feature is the vulnerability scanning. More than 72% users are like vulnerability scanning. The next one is the LDAP and LDAP integration, then replication. This is the top 3 popular features of hardware. Same the content tracks digital signature. It's less user select this part. We need to learn some root cause why they don't like the digital signature. Okay, so for the question 6 is the new what new feature of hardware are you expecting? This is for to do investigation for the user. What new feature they expected in the future hardware release versions? So we list many new features. Let's directly see the top 5. The highest, the first priority new feature they are expecting is CI/CD pipeline integration. I think this may include the robot account or some other support feature to make the CI/CD pipeline integration more smoothly. Okay, this is the first one. Then is the HA. You can see nearly more than 58%. Then is the improved replication, nearly a half, 50%. And then is the webhook. So actually for the, for the CI/CD pipeline integration, we will release the robot account in the next 1.8 version. We also support HA in the Helm chart deploy approach. And for the replication, we'll also release replication NG in the coming 1.8 version. That means we are in the right way to deliver the features which are expected by the users. Okay. So this is a good sign for us to keep going on. We also see some, customized response. So this is, not in the high priority quarters, OpenShift integration, import label from Dockerfile, or this robot service account we already have. Okay, I'll take more time quickly. So next next question is, are you willing to do contribution to the hardware community? I think nearly almost all of the participants, answer yes. Some are definitely yes, some are willing to, but maybe need more, training to get the related knowledge of hardware. Those are, you can say nearly 80%. That's a good thing too. Okay, next one is, if you are willing to do contribution to the hardware community in future, which domain are you feeling? We can see most of the participants are from the DevOps at the backend, less from the front end development. Actually, we have strong requirement for the front end development. that's the real case because most of our contributors are covered in the in the backend and DevOps domain. Okay, so for the other two question it's for the events to get if they have attended some Harvard community activity. That means we can get the popularities of Harvard community seems more than a Harvard, nearly 60% participants had, did not attend any Harvard community activity before. So that means we still have a long way to promote our Harvard community, to a widely scope to let more people know. Okay, so this is the first community survey analysis report. Okay, I think I take more time. I'll go through quickly for the coming part. Okay, next part is about the job service knowing issue. In the GitHub repo, we received several issues from related with the job service. Here I want to clarify, or I want to tell the community that we have got the question on the issues related with the job service. We have started the fixed plan to improve or to fix the related bugs for job service to improve the to make it more suitable. Okay, the related fix will be delivered into definitely delivered into the 1.8. Okay, maybe cherry pick to the 1.7.x depends on the requirements. Okay, so there is a three typical property. One is the job status. Some job status will be phrased to a specific one. Most times they will be phrased in a pending status, like a zombie job, okay, and it will not be changed anymore. So this may the cause, okay, the root cause properly because of the status syncing breaking between job service and the core service. Okay, so we'll enhance the status webhook and enhance and also simplify the job status persistent flow. Okay, to make it more effective, to make sure the webhook will finally report the job status to the core service. Okay, and sometimes some jobs are failed to stop or to cancel. Okay, so for this issue, we'll remove some command synchronizing channel across the multiple instances, and we'll enhance the condition of locating jobs which can be stopped and canceled. Anyway, we'll do improvement to fix the related issues. Okay, sometimes the time interval for the periodic job. For this one, we also do some improvement work to fix this problem. Okay, these three typical issues problem are related with several GitHub issues. Okay, if you want to learn more details, you can check those GitHub issues. Okay, next part is about upcoming community events. So the first part is about open source hackathon. Actually, we have mentioned this event before. So this event is only targeted for the Chinese community users. So I'll use Chinese to quickly describe the details of this part. Okay, so这个是hackathon open source hackathon， 就是在4月18到20号，我们在深圳有一个 open source hackathon， 就是一个开源的code马拉松。那我们是希望就是说在这里边会有一个 Harvard 的主题，大家会在3天里边围绕着 Harvard 去 fix 一些 Harvard 里边的 bugs， 或者去实现一个在3天里边可能实现的一个 Harvard 的一个虽然小但是有价值的这么一个 feature。 就是大家是聚集在一个就相当于是个 temporary 的 virtual 的 team 来 work on 一些 topic， 在3天里边，这个活动是在深圳。那现在的话，我们还没有就是说我们的这个团队还需要一些人。如果大家在深圳，或者说4月18在20号，你刚好在深圳，如果有兴趣去参加这个活动的话，可以通过这个注册链接注册一下 Harbor 的那个 group。那希望就是说，这也是很好的一次和 Harbor 社区互动，或者说给 Harbor 社区 do contribution 的一个good chance、good opportunity。就是如果您可能有机会参与的话，那欢迎加入这个活动。OK。So this is about the open source hackathon. I think maybe we have mentioned in last community meetings. There is some. We will hold some Harbor events co-located in the KubeCon conference, both European and China. So the KubeCon European will be held in May 20 and May 26. We'll hold a separate Harbor meetup, and in this meetup, food and drinks will be provided. So if you are planning to attend the KubeCon European or KubeCon China, maybe and you have some related or interesting topics related with Harbor, with cloud native, you can contact connect us to to reserve a chance to share your topics in those Harbor meetups. Okay, so those meetups will be both held in KubeCon European and KubeCon China. So I think some of other community contributor or end users will attend on some KubeCon conference. So welcome topic sharing. If you have good topics, please contact us. We'll reserve time for you to share your topics. So this is about the upcoming community events. Because today we have a lot of content, so I will not ask you a question now. After the demo, we can left some time to ask a question or to trigger some discussions. So it's demo time. First, I'd like to invite the Harbor maintainer Qian Deng to give us a demo about the prepare flow refactor. Qian, are you there?
Hello, Steven.
Okay, so it's your time.
Okay. Before the demo, and I'll introduce the function of the prepare script before.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing. You can stop your screen now.
Okay. Okay. In the previous version, the prepare script is used for preparing the environment for Harbor to running, and it includes create the directories the Harbor required, and generate some files like secret keys, and because some historical issues, the prepare script is a very huge big file and is too messy to maintain. You can say before the prepare is one giant file here. Now, in this version, we refactor the prepare file, and I split the big file into different parts, and you can say this is the structure of the current prepare module. And now, besides the prepare functions, and we also move the template rendering function to the prepare module, which in previous version is done by the seed command and in makefile. Because the seed is cannot rendering the complex template, so we introduce the Jinja to our template engine, so we can leverage the Jinja's function to generate templates using more complex logic in it. So currently, the prepare module have two main functions. First one is to prepare the environment. The second is generate the templates. And we also wrapped it into the container image. So all the dependencies don't need the user to consider it. So this is the structure. You can say in this directory, like chat server or Claire or code, this is we put the Jinja template in on this file. So this template is used to generate the real file used in Harbor, and the utils is the Python file. We can using this to do the function like their name. For example, if the third.py in this file is all related to generate a cert, and the chat is used to generate a chat related files, something like this. Okay. And currently we using the prepare script. Also, we fix some issues like before the data directory, is hard coded. On the Docker Compose files. Currently, we can configure the data file directory, so we can store the Harbor data anywhere you want. And I'll show you the demo how to using the current refactoring workflow. But I think most of the changes are transparent for the users, and the only thing you should mention is that the config file has a huge change. You can say this is a previous version's config file. There are a lot of items here, and the format is config parser like format. And currently, we removed a lot of items because Daojun PR they remove the admin server container. So we also we move the item because you can say this table we split the content here. We split the config item into two class: system setting and the user setting. And the system setting can only set on the config file, and the user setting are all removed from the config file. User can configure it when you first log in the Harbor. You can see the current config file. Okay, and current config file is a YAML format, and only few items you need to configure. I think it make the config file more concise and easy to use, make the Harbor easy to use. You can see the config item left here. And this is a host name, and this is as the previous version. And we remove the protocol item because if you if you want using HTTP, you just uncomment the HTTP item here. If you want using HTTPS, you just uncomment the HTTPS configs and put the certifier here. And we also can configure the portal here. You know, in the previous version, the portal number is fixed. It's only 18 for HTTP and 443 for HTTPS. Currently, you can configure it. And the Harbor admin password is the same as previous. And the database, you know, currently we support the external database. If you want to using the internal database, you just uncomment the database item here and put your database password here. This is using the internal database. If you wanna using external database, you can say here, uncomment the external database item here, and you can configure the database, the host, port, username, password, and SSL mode. And while using the external database for Harbor, and this config will replace the local database configs like the password. If you, which means if you are using the external database, the password while use the external database password. And okay, let's see the other item. The data value is introduced in this version. You know, as before, the Harbor data is hard coded in data directory /data directory, and currently you can configure this directory and store the Harbor data anywhere you want. And here is the storage. This is used by both Timezone and the Harbor registry, and the configuration is the same as the official Harbor registry. You can refer this link. And the next is Claire and job service. I think this configuration is the same as before. And the log, you can configure the log level here. This is hard to configure in previous version. You should change the environment. You should change the specific files in previous version. Currently, you can configure it here. Okay. This the version. This is the configuration items left. It's more conscious, and now I can currently I show you how to install. This most the operation is the same as before, and the only thing you need, you know, in the before there are 3 ways to install Harbor. The offline package, online package, and build Harbor using source code. The online package and the from source code method is the same as before. Is transparent for users, and the current only there is a little bit different is offline package, because all the prepare script are wrapped into the container, so you need to know the prepare container before you run the install shell. So you must be sure that run prepare scripts before after your first time run install the shell. For example, if you you need to run install the shell first. It's not. Okay. This is install. I think if you, I think this is the same as before, and except you run the prepare. You are familiar with run prepare script first. Okay, I think the hello is running. Okay. Okay. And I'll show you in the previous version. And the other difference is that in the previous version, if you wanna running Hubble with Claire or Lottery or Chat Museum, the Hubble will generate 3 different files. For example, this is a Hubble 1.7. You can say if you wanna using the other component, the Hubble will generate Chat Museum YAML, Claire YAML, Notary YAML, and if you wanna run this, you should using Docker compose command like this, -f and like this. You need to specify every files by yourself, but currently you can the config file it will automatically generate it for you, and nice down. You know, you saw me just I using install share install Hubble with 3 components. You can see our compose file, which is included 3 components configure. Okay. If you just wanna run the core function of the Hubble, you just need to run the prepare script first. Okay. Okay. You can say the .compose file. This include you can say Postgre core, proto, job space.
Create a greeting, press 3. For mailbox options, press 4.
Notary, you can say Notary here, Claire here, and the Chat Museum. All the components configuration file are in this one file. If you wanna just run Hubble without any component, just run prepare. This is this will generate a Hubble. You can say this config file only contains the core component for Hubbles, no other component. So you can just doc compose up. Okay. You can say this is the base version of Hubble. Basic. Okay, there's no other functions here. is very simple to use. Okay, and the next thing to mention is that you can, if you upgrade from the previous version, you don't need to change your config file by yourself. You can run our migration script. For example, you can say this is the previous version of config file. You can just run this migration. You can run this configuration scripts and you can say this will generate a new version of config file for you. Okay, this all the demos here. Hi, Steven.
Okay, thank you, Qian. This is really awesome. So I think this is very critical, change for user to deploy their harbor. So I do like to reserve 2 minutes for you guys to ask a question. Okay, so as a regular, if you don't, you are not good at speaking English, you can directly use Chinese to ask the question. Any question about this part?
那我另外稍微说两句，就是这个东西我们其实测了一段时间了，但是，就是在我们的那个 testbed 还有我们的开发环境上都没有问题，但是因为 Harbor 会装在不同的 distro 上，然后经常会有社区的用户遇到什么文件的权限啊，或者不同的用户来 run 这个会遇见不同的问题，所以因为这个代码已经都在 master 里边了，如果大家感兴趣可以 check out 下来 run 一下试试在你的环境里边，这样能保证我们能在更多不一样的环境上试。谢谢大家。
好，那可能大家对我看有些同事说对这个英语不太习惯啊，因为我们确实是 global community， 然后有一些 foreigner speak English， 所以我们这个可能speak 的时候还是English， 但是大家发问的时候可以用中文，我们都 OK， 所以直接问问题，压测怎么压测？
压测
与这个相关吗？
这个跟这个应该没关系吧？压测这个是对啊，这个取决于你对我们这个东西的理解，然后你关心哪块你就压哪块的。
Okay, so about 关于这个 prepare 这一部分，因为这个 prepare 和之前的 prepare 的 flow 是 totally different，change 是一个 big change， 所以就是说你有问题的话可以提问一下，如果没有问题，那我们就 move on next part 啊。OK， 好像没有问题。OK, sounds good. Here you can stop your sharing.
Okay. Thanks, Steven.
Okay, so as no question for the prepare flow refactoring, so let's move to next part. Next part is the OIDC supporting. So from the analysis report, we can say it's also expecting new feature from the community. So I'd like to invite Harbor core maintainer Daniel Jiang to give us a demo about this part. Daniel, it's your time. Daniel.
You need to unshare your screen.
Okay, so it's
yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So the background is we have been asked about supporting the SSO flow for a while. So in 1.8 we decided to make some progress in that part. The choice is OIDC. And this is the development build because some of the code is not merged to master yet. Hopefully in the next 1 or 2 days. This is the environment fresh install, and I've logged in as admin. Let's go to the configuration tab. In the authentication, there is a new item called OIDC. So to configure Harbor to authenticate against UI OIDC, you need to switch the auth mode to OIDC, and you need to provide the following parameters, such as the name of the provider, the OIDC endpoint, which will have to be OIDC compliant server endpoint, and of course you need OIDC client ID, client secret, and OIDC scope. And just in case you are running OIDC provider with your self-signed certificate, such as, you know, if you are running DAX or Keycloak with your self-signed certificate, you need to check this box to skip the verification of the certificate. So in this demo, I'm gonna configure Harbor to use Google to log in, but I don't want you to see my secret of Google, so I need to run a script to do the configuration. It's just called a configuration API of Harbor to do the configuration. And after that, if you refresh, yeah, here it is. So I applied for OIDC client from Google Developer Console, and the scope, you need to contain the OpenID in the scope. That's part of the standard of OIDC. And in addition to that, you can add such as profile and the email, so that when we onboard a user to Harbor's database, we'll have more information. And this offline access is recommended also is for getting the refresh token, so that your token will not be expired very soon. That will impact the use case when using Docker CLI, which I will demo later. So after we save this configuration, if I log out, you see there's a new button here. I can log in via the OIDC provider. If I click this, I'll be redirected to Google. Oh, I need to log out first because I'm already logged in. Right, let me sign out first. Let's try again. Okay, so here's my Google login page. If I choose one of my Gmail account, it will challenge me with my password. So after a successful authentication, I'll be redirected to Harbor. Now, because it's the first time I log in using my Google account, I need to onboard this user to Harbor. So I need to provide a username for Harbor. So I'll choose, for example, Daniel here. I click save. Okay, I'm in. Now I'm a regular user in Harbor now. I can, for example, create a project, call it demo. And meanwhile, if other user create a project, he can, see me in the user list and add Daniel as a member to the project. So it's all the same after it's onboarded to Harbor. So that's the web onboard flow. Addition to that, we'll also need to support the Docker CLI. One challenge here is that in this example, normally you can use your password of the external authenticator to authenticate against Harbor when you're using Docker CLI. But in this case, we can't do that because we don't want to see your password of external service. I cannot use my Google's password and send it to Harbor. It's very insecure. So to work around that, we provide a concept called CLI secret that will be associated to your OIDC token stored in Harbor's database. And when you authenticate using this secret, Harbor will try to verify your OIDC token. If it's expired, Harbor will try to refresh this token such that the secret will be valid for a long time. And just in case I remove my account from Google or I've been removed from some external OIDC provider, this secret will be invalidated right away. So currently we don't support retrieving this secret from UI. It's in the CLI. You can get it here, but yeah, in a day or two, we'll support getting it from UI. It's under development. So this is my secret. I can run Docker login and provide Daniel and using my secret. Yeah, login succeed. And because I created a demo project, I can probably do a push and push an image to the demo project. So yeah, everything works. If you refresh, here it is. So that's the CLI user experience. This part is still a working in progress, but most of the workflow we're gonna support in 1.8. I have demoed. After this, we're gonna support user getting a CLI secret from his profile pane, and we probably will support a user to revoke this CLI to improve the security and some refinement on the UI or label, etc. And that's all for my demo. Any questions?
Okay, it's a really awesome feature. So anyone has a question about OIDC supporting? 一样，你可以用中文提问。有吗？
这个也是一样，有这个问题，就是我现在已经和 Google 还有 DAX 做过测试，但是因为支持 OIDC 的这个后端很多，我不太确定大家都在用哪些，所以如果感兴趣，可以 check out 代码，然后和你自己的这个后端集成一下。如果有问题的话，我们还可以在 1.8 里边帮您 fix， 然后保证它能工作，否则的话可能就要等 fix patch。当然，这个应该是按照那个 OIDC 的规范实现的。如果你后端是支持这个，应该都没问题。Okay.
Last call. Any question about OIDC supporting? No.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel, for the awesome demo. I think we have run out of the time, so I will use 1 minute to do preview for next community meeting. Next community meeting, we may do some more preview demo for the replication next generation. Yeah, replicate both image and Helm chart from Harbor to non-Harbor. So that will be the topic for next community meeting. Okay, so and we have run out of time. I will not ask any, as I don't think we have any time to, to talk about other topics. Yeah, if you have any other question, you can raise issue to our GitHub repo, or you have, other question in our WeChat Slack channel, even the, the related email group. Those information you can be found in the GitHub repo README file. Okay. So the meeting is recorded, and the recording link will be updated to the meeting schedule later. You can also find this file in the GitHub community repo. Also, the meeting slide will be uploaded to the community under the conference course, listed by the meeting date. Today is April 10. Okay, so you have any request for those documents, you can navigate to the GitHub community to find the related information. Let me check. Okay, I think we have, okay, one question. Is this authenticate mode is independent, right? Or it can be co-work with other authenticate mode? Okay, I think Yan had answered the question. Yeah, we do not support the co-work of multiple authenticate modes. We only support one.
Yeah, that's a systematic issue. Yeah, you need a systematic solution.
Okay. So, okay, it's great. So thank you for the demo presenters and our community users. Let's see next week, next community meeting. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Daniel and Chen.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
OK， 那个
Thank you. Bye.
OK， 其他那个 maintainer 在线的话，我看有谁啊？我们可以 leverage 一下这个东西来讨论一下 replication。都在吗？
我需要在吗？讨论 replication 的话。
你不要。我先把这个，sorry， 我把这个 stop 停。